trembling voice as he arrived at her door. Her tone was that of a lady who realized that her skirt had just fallen below her knees. His guard was so deep that she got scared. She had never seen him before in this mood. As he remained silent, she concentrated, exploring her mind and remembering all the techniques that her mother had taught her on how to control men. Her mother, a female chauvinist of first class, believed that women were superior to men, especially when it came to cat talk. No man can resist when faced with a female cat. If you need something from a man, seduce him. Use your powerful tool, your cat. Her mother repeatedly used to tell her. But Peter's mood was not easy to penetrate. As he stood there silent, her fear increased. She thought about running away, but he was standing at the door like a statue blocking the exit. She could not even climb the window and escape. Her fear intensified. Given the fact that she had inflicted a serious cut to his bank account, her fears gave her strength that she could use to tear the world to pieces, run through it, and disappear forever. She hated herself for not settling the matter over the phone and disappearing. Now her sole hope was that she was not blind. She perceived the diabolical cruelty behind his personality. His eyes were satanic, but she had a plan to counterattack. She owed him a baby. She would give him another great shot to be a father. By the time she finally decided to run, he opened his mouth. She felt a little bit of relief and safety. Lancia, you need to explain yourself, he said with a clouded voice that obligated him to clear his throat. That was what she needed the most to break his motionless attitude. Second, in her mind was a play of a mixture of victory and defeat. She concentrated and recalled all her mother's advice. She knew she was beautiful, and her bosom was appetizing. She could use that to victory over him. With a trembling voice, she invited him to get in the house to take a seat and relax. When he obeyed and stepped in the house, he knew that she had sealed her victory over him. But the only obstacle was that she just had her baby 2 months ago. She was still healing from the hellish and painful delivery she went through. Her passageway was so tiny that her doctor performed a C-section on her. She even remembered that she swore that she would never have sex again. He went to the kitchen sink and sprinkled some tap water over his face. He felt a little bit of relief because he was sweating, not from the heat, because the barometer hanging on the pink wall was reading only 60 degrees Fahrenheit, but from the shock of the news. The results of the test were so shocking. She took advantage of the occasion to lock the door and unbutton her shirt. She calculated that if he could have her today, her victory would be certain. She was gorgeous. No man had ever stared at her only once. Her breasts were so perfectly designed that few girls like her, belonging to a special race chosen by God himself for a set purpose of troubling men. Turning about to face her, he could not believe his eyes. He thought it was just a mirage. She was so seductive that even Jesus could not have resisted if Satan had used this temptation against him after his 40 days fast in the desert. He still looked at her like an English squire who failed his knighthood test. To form an idea of the impression that all this made upon him was like to try to know if God's gender was either male or female. After a moment of hesitation, everything went fast. In a matter of seconds, he found himself out of Lancia's apartment. He could not take the risk of being dominated because she should keep using his generosity to her advantage. She could make him raise a son who was not his. Remaining in his disbelieving state, like a viper whose teeth have been drawn but wishing to bite a victim. His principle in life had always been to be means to give. I was born to give. He used to repeat that postulate to himself over and over. Life had given back to him life had given back to him, and as I awarded him many of what he needed, except one wish: biological kids. He was desperately trying to have kids. He was raised in a large family. His father has 19 kids. Everybody in his family has many kids, but why he hasn't been able to make any kid? I can't get pregnant used to be the answer he often got from women for the last 5 years on. He had collected a record of 19 different women, but evolution being the law of this universe, he went from I can't get pregnant through baby, I'm pregnant, but also I just lost my baby, to I just delivered it, but why were not you here? Peter was married to Elda. She was 40 years old. They met when she was 31. He was 30 at that time. The circumstances